Oh shit. Good morning, everybody. I'm just waking up, so forgive me. Getting on the road to work. This is a space by Diligent Denizon. He did it last night. Today is December 23rd, so I guess he did it on the 22nd. Let's check out what he got to say. How in the hell does somebody jump in here already? I know y'all ain't got notifications on
Alright,
from
you
me.
guys, welcome. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I am still not 100% over being sick, so I'm going to keep this kind of a short space, maybe 2 hours. See? But, yeah, we're going to do an AMFEST recap, talk about some of the nonsense going on there. A lot of people, they're facing a lot of backlash, not just from people who have already been critical of them, but of people who went there. And a friend, and I call him a friend, somebody I actually met at AMFEST last year for the first time. And his name's Alex Stone. He's the nephew of Roger Stone. And he's all up in that whole hunting crowd or whatever, but he's got, I noticed it when I talked to him last year. He's not like a lot of these people. He's very devout Christian, very beholden to his principles. And he put out this post. I'm going to read it now. After going to AMFEST, I think this is a good way to start off the space. Please go down to the bottom right corner and please repost, and we'll get into this. All right, give me 1 second to take a drink. This is from Alex Stone. I reposted this. I'll throw it up in the Jumbotron so you guys can. It says this: after being at America, I find myself to be quite sad. I am an optimist at heart, but to be honest, I am struggling with the state of our nation and the Republican Party. I want the best for our country, but that can never happen if we continue on the trajectory that we are on right now, and that's the hard truth. The quote-unquote conservative movement has been quickly shifting in the wrong direction for a while now. It is deeply concerning and is deeply disturbing me. To be honest, I am actually on the verge of tears writing this. I often refer to scripture in everything that I do. I am Christian. I'm a follower of Jesus. I want to do everything I can to glorify Christ. Obviously, I am human, and I often fall short, but thankfully, Christ has forgiven me. A passage that I quote often is Isaiah 5:20. Quote, woe unto you who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. When I refer to this passage, the evils that we can clearly, I've begun to realize that this needs to become a conversation for the right has about itself. I often see people say things like, quote, I will be a Republican until the day Jesus is no longer put first in the Republican Party. Well, it is clear to me that Jesus is not first in the Republican Party or the movements that are adjacent or similar to it. We have traded Christ-likeness for un-Christ-likeness. We have traded selflessness for selfishness. We have traded kindness for cruelty to each other. We have traded honesty for dishonesty towards each other. We have traded peace for violence towards each other. We have traded being compassionate for being uncompassionate to each other. We have traded being merciful to being unmerciful. We have traded humility for pridefulness. We have traded love for hate. After Charlie was murdered, we saw peace and tranquility, but only for a short time. I believe we saw that because for a moment, so many of us were committed to deep prayer for this country. But since then, it seems as if we have devolved faster than I could have ever imagined. We must reverse course. We must change. We must stop this direction that we are heading, or we will lose this nation that we all love. This is not just for MAGA. This is not just for American firsters. This is not just for followers of Charlie Kirk. This is not just for followers of Candace Owens. This is not just for followers of Nick Fuentes. Not just for followers of Tucker Carlson. This is for everyone. The change doesn't start with the person that you can't stand and think is a fraud. The change starts with you. It starts with a self-introspection by saying, I repent. It starts by releasing your own hatred first. It starts by releasing your own pride first. It starts by releasing your own cruelty first. Our nation will not become the nation that we want it to be if we do not start with ourself first repenting. When Nehemiah heard that the walls of Jerusalem were broken down, he knelt and said, he repented of his own sin first. This is what we must do. I repent, Father, forgive me. Our country needs Jesus. Jesus, please help us. I just thought that was interesting because he was commenting on my posts, and he's like, dude, I think it was the murder tent. And he's like, something is really wrong here. But I'm really grateful to see, because he's a Gen Z. This kid's like he's 21 or 22. And if he can have this kind of introspection and reflection of what he's seeing, and he's Roger Stone's nephew, so he's got like, he has like VIP access and all this shit. If he can go there and he can see that something as dark is going on at TPUSA and the Republican Party in its current state, that gives me some hope, that someone so young can recognize that something is truly off with what's going on right now in the wake of Charlie Kirk. And as sad as he was to write that, I'm extremely grateful to see it, right? Because that means that we have some hope. And again, that wasn't, he said that message wasn't just for anybody, that was for everybody. And I don't know.
What you say, leave Jesus alone? Sorry, I'm driving right now. I can't read the little messages on my phone. It'll be a little bit before I can really respond to the chat. If that says leave Jesus alone, what the hell are we talking about? We don't, no, don't leave Jesus alone. Make him your best friend. Talk to him all the time. Let's talk about him as, like, all the time. What the fuck are you talking about, leave Jesus alone? Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Sorry.
Pretty wise words coming from a kid. We have a lot to talk about. I'll throw some posts up in the Jumbotron. We'll go over those. My throat is still sore. It's like still jacked up. So for being sick this weekend, so I'm not going to talk too much. Noxie, you there?
Yes, I am.
So, go down to the bottom right corner, repost the space. I've got some things to discuss. A conservative influencer messaged me at like 3 a.m. last night. And he's like, I'll read you guys the messages. I'm not going to dox who it is because I don't dox DMs. I'll just read it to you without, it's crazy. I'll read it to you without, without telling you who it is. But he's a pretty big, long-time conservative influencer. One of the first ones that I kind of connected with when I got on the app. And he messaged me last night, and he says this. Fucking... Yeah, he didn't respond, bitch. He says... He sends me my Nicki Minaj post. I said, my post is this. It says, Nicki Minaj. I'll throw it up in the Jumbotron. He sent me this post. He said, hey, bro, I hope this guy has not messaged me. The last time we talked was in 2023. Okay, that's all I'm gonna talk to this guy. He said, "Hey, bro, I hope you are well. Why did you go all retarded conspiracy theory with your account? There's plenty of ways to make money on this app without lowering yourself like this." I said, I actually meant it when I said save the children. The grifters are the ones who went along to go along. And he starts arguing with me about whether or not how old Nicki Minaj's husband was when he got convicted of rape. I said not only is her husband a rapist, she's a fucking illegal from Trinidad. You go ahead and I'm telling him, you go ahead and sell your soul for this establishment shit. I'm not going. Bro, talk to me like you used to. I didn't sell my soul. Anyways, we have a back and forth. But it ends up with him sending me this. He says, he said, why are you going after TPUSA? I said, when I asked politely, they attacked me, the Charlie Kirk staff. He says this, TPUSA, and this is I did share this up in the Jumbotron because it's a veiled threat. This is the second time I've gotten one from somebody that has a platform on here. I'll throw it up in the Jumbotron. And he says this. He says, DPUSA refuses to answer your questions about Charlie Kirk assassination, ? Brother, you and I are a dime a dozen. TPUSA doesn't owe either one of us jack shit. I said that works. They can stonewall and I'll report like I am and I don't owe them shit. It doesn't work this is him. It doesn't work both ways though. Neither of us had the influence or reputation of TPUSA. It's a free country though, so do as you wish, but I assure you it won't end well. What does he mean by that? I asked him, I said, what, it won't end well? Elaborate. He read it and didn't respond. I left here for a year and a half, and most of the people who took the same approach over the October 7th attack on Israel aren't around anymore. What does that mean? Asking questions is one thing, pushing conspiratorial nonsense is another. As an old friend, I'd love to see you thriving and doing well, but I'm telling you, you're going down the wrong road on this one. Not going to end well. What do you think he means by that, Noxie?
I think they're threatened, and I think that your voice is mattering.
Aren't around anymore? Y'all see that? Oh, can you see it? Oh, it won't let me zoom in any further. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. That seems like a fucking veiled threat to me, guys. What do y'all think? What do you think, chat? Is that a veiled threat? Also, hit the like button. Thank you.
Matters. The shilling that we're seeing, it's just making it worse for them, and people have questions, and because the vacuum that they're creating, it's just going to keep pushing more people towards you, towards people who are asking questions and looking for answers. Some of us, this is really important. This is our country. This is the people that make our laws, that make decisions for us, that we are supposed to trust with our lives and our children's future. And whenever it all starts falling apart, we need to be asking questions. We need pushback. We don't need people that just sit back and say, just because it's my team or my side, it's okay. I don't want to live in a world that my kids are with pedophiles ruling us, and my children not being protected, and my girls not being protected. It's a sick place, and we need more people asking questions. And anybody who is trying to silence anybody that's asking questions, I question them now. The more that they try to shut you up, I think we just need to start looking into them and figure out why are they, what skin do they have in the game of keeping people silent? Because something is seriously wrong in our country. We're seeing it more and more so, not just with Charlie, but with these Epstein files, and this can't stand.
Did you see the DOJ released a fake video?
I saw that, and I can kind of understand, like, if they're releasing
all of this
everything.
is up in the Jumbotron, you guys. Go ahead, Noxie.
Yeah, if they're being transparent, releasing everything, that would include all of the evidence too that they, discarded. But I think that they should put disclaimers on it that, this was found to be, made up or not true or whatever.
Why would you include something that was completely fabricated? Why include it at all?
Well, and I think that if that was part of the investigation and that was part of the information that they got, then it should be included. I mean, because I would rather use my own discernment of finding out if that was not, instead of them using the excuse that, oh, we just thought that was fake, or we thought that didn't matter, so we didn't include it. I don't trust them to make the decision on what's important and what's not important anymore.
Yeah, but they didn't label it as fake.
That's what I'm saying. They should have labeled it as such, but at the same time, that's just kind of where I stand on it. I don't trust them to make the decisions of saying we left it out because we don't find it credible. Because at this point, basically, like what Thomas Massey confronted Kash Patel is, Kash Patel's response was, we haven't found any credible evidence of anybody else being involved. And Thomas Massey replied back, so I guess you're not thinking that the victim's testimony is credible. And I don't want them to make the decisions. Let it all out. We will figure out what's credible or not. I don't trust them anymore.
Hard to argue with that.
I just feel like they would use it like a scapegoat, as a pretense to hide more information. And I think that they've hidden enough. And we did a good job. When that video came out, it was debunked. We knew that it was fake. We figured it out by ourselves. I trust the crowdsourcing the information right now. I trust it more than I trust the DOJ.
Preach, Noxie, you queen, you.
Which is a really sad thing, because we pay the DOJ a whole hell of a lot of money and the FBI a whole hell of a lot of money to keep us safe. And I would rather trust crowdsourcing.
Do you guys see the murder tent? What do you think about that?
It felt like what serial killers do. Like they're keeping their trophy.
Their trophy?
Yep. Keeping their trophy and putting it on display, and like a brag. Like they don't even know. But it seemed very demented. It seemed very evil.
How can a wife wander around any of that?
How can Nicki Minaj, first of all, why is Nicki Minaj up there? Second of all, how can Nicki Minaj literally say assassin in front of Erica Kirk without Erica Kirk falling to the floor in tears? That word would have triggered me so deeply. I don't care what context. It would have just it wouldn't have been something that I was purposely, intentionally doing. It would have been a subconscious response to just cry.
Looked
just
like
hearing
Nicki
that word.
was a little bit more disturbed by it than Erica was.
Nikki was a lot more disturbed by it. Nikki's a freaking demonic too. But
It was intentional.
and it could be one of those things to where like they're just blatantly just rubbing it in our faces, rubbing our noses in it, and look at what we're getting away with. And all of you people are asking questions because you know something's not right. Fuck off. We don't care. We're doing it anyway, and it's a slap in the face to all Americans. Like I feel it for me. I hope more people wake up and start paying attention. And as these things start happening, like maybe if at that first, whenever Charlie was killed, it wasn't, it didn't raise off alarms for you or set off alarms, or whenever the Epstein files weren't being released and you thought that it was just a Democrat hoax or whatever, and you're seeing how this is playing out. I hope that some of you who were doubting that are connecting the pieces now and just looking at this and being like, there's just way too many coincidences at this point. Our country is in trouble, and if we don't figure it out soon, it might be too late. Like it's just we're in a serious situation, and I think that we have been for a while. I just think that what used to work to keep us complacent isn't working as well anymore.
Agreed. Let's go to somebody's hands. Go ahead, Donovan, then we'll go to Noah.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for having me.
No, Charlie Kirk is not the new Jesus. Charlie Kirk is exposing the corruption in our government to a lot of people. If you're looking at Charlie Kirk like Jesus, you're retarded.
Merry Christmas, dudes and dudettes. This Charlie Kirk thing is about as believable as the brawny autistic man and claimed to be the pipe bomber. It's just, it's like the biggest psyop, but it's under Trump. Like, what the frick is going on? I'm pretty seriously disappointed. Like, I have a MAGA hat that I got shortly before the election, and I'm pretty sure I'm burning it New Year's Eve. I didn't wear it today. I wear it every day. And I'm not going to associate myself. I live in Mesa, Arizona.
If you're still wearing that red hat after seeing the latest Epstein drop, you don't know what that red hat means.
It's a big area, so I'm not really doxing myself, but this is all BS.
Have you been feeling this way for a while, or were you kind of giving it a chance and having a little bit of hope? And
my hopium and my my hopium, or hopamine, not dopamine, but hopamine is burned out. It's done. The clown show of Cash and Dongino is like ridiculous. The people in charge are not the figureheads that they put out in front of us daily. I don't even know if Trump really is. Like, okay, sure, he works like a madman, but is it like a dog on a wheel, just like spinning time and stuff? Granted, like the border, it's so much better, ridiculously better. The deportations, lacking seriously, but it's a serious problem. So, and the economy, well, okay, I'm paying like $2.70 a gallon for gas out here. Other things are costing less, but like Cash Patel and Bondi and this Epstein thing, like, can you imagine being out there and like, hey,
you can tell this dude's a Trumpian.
got a binder. Isn't this awesome? And then like 9 months later, Dan is like, oh, I gotta go. Sorry, later.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. The food's up, the gas is down. I know justice is not being served in many ways, and that's a problem. Thank you, Donovan. Let's go to Noah. Go ahead.
Hey, great space, guys. Thanks for having us on. This release of the Epstein video was extremely disturbing because Department of Justice does it as a provocation. I mean, you know that they would get a provocative response from us. And that's really concerning for me because, we're dealing with a government that is, we've all had this person in our lives, is a mean son of a bitch, okay? And that's extremely disturbing, coupled with an FBI that is extremely surreptitious. The bigger the lie, the bigger the secrets they're covering up. And everybody is partying like there's no fucking tomorrow. Not really, raises my alarm bells. Like, there's something bigger. Like, something bigger than what we pretty know, that Jeffrey Epstein was the connector for all things illegal and nation building and all these things. And we're going to find out something about something that's just going to blow our mind.
If you're just joining, this is a space by Diligent Denizon, right here at Diligent Denizon on X. You can just go to his profile and scroll down a little ways until you see the big purple thing. Click on it and listen to it. I just trying to let people know about X spaces, and this is one of the good ones. Appreciate y'all listening. Hit the like button, subscribe.
It's even bigger. Like those dots connect to something even bigger. It's crazy times we're living in, man. It's crazy. Thanks for having me up.
Yeah, it is. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, something I just want to bring up. Jeffrey Epstein was, worked for the Mossad. He was trying to get blackmail on anyone that was
conclusively, but it's like very possible.
Oh, it was absolutely. But anyway, let's move past that. I just want to say this. Just because someone was in a picture with Jeffrey Epstein does not make him, a bad person.
We have bigger issues than what exactly? Tell me, PC prankster? I don't know what that means.
Person, at these parties, because he was around everyone, and taking pictures with someone doesn't mean that you are a pedophile. And I'm not defending anyone, but I just want to bring that up because there's a lot of that being pushed out there right now, trying to make people look bad. And we got to put our thinking caps on it and look,
What do you think about AMFEST, Joe?
I think it was crazy. I love that Tucker Carlson called him out, and I think that this Ben Shapiro needs to go. Like, he's going to bring that whole organization down. If he doesn't go, that's a mistake. He's going to actually probably take it from America at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's how they.
I'm pretty sure Ben Shapiro paid an exorbitant amount of money to speak at AMFEST rather than being reached out to and asked to speak at AMFEST and getting paid.
They operate, you know what I mean? So they need to get rid of that guy quick. He's going to bring the whole place down. His days are numbered. I think a decision.
Well, he hadn't been.
Figuratively speaking.
He hadn't been part of TPS since 2023. He hadn't spoken. And then because him and Charlie did not get along, and we've seen the messages with Charlie and Candace where Charlie was talking about Ben and how he spoke on Ben. And then now that Ben is gone, or Charlie's gone, sorry guys, but now that Charlie's gone, immediately Ben's up there just ranting and raving and looking like a weirdo. What they're doing right now, the Nicki Minaj thing, putting the tent up, Ben Shapiro up there talking, it doesn't feel like they're following Charlie at all. It's it feels even more so that they moved him out of the way so they could make it into something of what they wanted it to be, whoever they are, but this opposite thing of what Charlie wanted it to be, or where Charlie was moving it to be, and he was actively moving it to be. That's why Ben Shapiro wasn't a speaker there. That's why,
I'm stopping to get me some Chick-fil-A this morning. Don't judge me, guys.
He was having Tucker Carlson speak. That's why he was asking or thinking about having Candace Owens come back. And we're just supposed to act like we never saw Charlie say that, or we never read what Charlie wrote. And we're all just crazy for being like, what is going on? We're the evil demonic people for asking the questions, even though they're literally using everything that he worked for his whole life and going against everything that he wanted and everything that he said. It's mind-blowing to me. Go ahead, Janine or Janie.
Hi, sorry, I have a sore throat.
Welcome
so
to
my
the
voice
club.
is a little bad. I just wanted, so the AMFEST, I'll comment on that, and you can tell how, when you buy friends, and the insecurity just bubbles through his skin. And he's so insecure, which then manifests as anger. He's just very angry that he, had to buy himself into there. But also, I posted in the comments, Stoop Heaters. I have people around me. I'm in Arizona. I have people around me saying, Jane, don't get so caught up on this. They're trying to divert us from the AI that's happening here, and we need to be focused on that, not so much on what's happened to Kirk. And I answer and say, so we're just going to let another JFK go unseen, and we're going to let this one go too, because they don't understand that this is a multi-government. This is bigger than just Charlie Kirk. This is another multi-government job. And since we let the JFK go, not we, our parents or whatever, since it wasn't pushed or caught, look at our nation has really fallen since JFK. So it's going to take another dive if we...
It's fallen since JFK because of the Hart-Celler Act passed in 1965. Just so you know.
Watch this happen live and not do anything, just like with the genocide in Palestine. So I posted the Stu Peters thing about Kirk's Erica's parents from working in Fort Huachuca, because Fort Huachuca is the only fort in the nation that makes the the anti-EMP drones, and that her father owns the Raytheon company, the Israeli Raytheon company that is part of the dome that Israel uses, and then her mother owns a company that makes...
I don't want to make this all about Israel Palestine. Bring it back into AMFEST.
Well, so Erica Kirk's parents worked in Fort Huachuca. So
her parents worked in Fort Huachuca?
Yeah, so I posted the Stu Peters Instagram video that's talking about her parents they all moved to Fort Huachuca because she owns the company that makes the anti-EMP drones that were flying over the UVU campus that day. So did you see that Instagram?
No, I didn't. I'll have to take a look.
Okay, or yeah, just take a look, and it's very interesting about the Fort Huachuca connection with the drones.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Jenny. Go ahead, South.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me up. I came up just because I heard Nazi speaking. Nazi, thank you for sharing so much information with us. But one thing I've noticed in this whole Epstein Files case...
Dilly, can you pause?
This dude has a Neuralink.com link to his what? I bet this dude's weird.
Pause or mute your mic. You got Alex Jones screaming through.
Yeah, I'm looking at, he debunked, he just released this video, another trying to debunk her, and he's showing the flight logs of Brian Harper's tickets. And I'm looking for it because it doesn't actually prove anything. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's a thing where, yeah.
Here it is. All right, I'll mute it.
Sorry, Sal.
Hey, no worries, all good.
I was just trying to pay attention to the listeners' experience.
Always working.
Yeah, work with the mute button. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Sal.
Anyway, my point is, I keep seeing all these attacks on Bondi, on Cash Patel, and I don't blame everyone for attacking them, blaming them, but to me...
Thank God South has forgiven us, y'all. South has forgiven us. Woo! That's what I was looking for.
It all comes up to the top, right? I mean, Trump himself said the buck stops there. I think we all know that he is implicated in these Epstein files with probably a lot of other...
We don't know that for a fact.
Well, there's a lot of evidence, right? And I feel like these
there's no evidence that he did anything wrong that's been released yet. It's not true. Is it possible? Sure, but you're not going to come up here and say that he's implicated without evidence. You're not going to do that to my audience.
Yeah.
Fine. The thing is, I understand why that anger's not really towards him, right? We all know that he has a lot of control over the people that he put in place. This is not his first term where he had folks that were there for a very long time and probably did in some situations undermine him. These are definitely his loyal people that are up there. So
do me a favor, please hit the like button and subscribe. This is a space by Denizon at Denizon on X is his platform. Thank you.
I just don't understand, with all that's going on, the amount of blame that's going towards Bondi when I'm sure she's getting direction from Trump. And that's all. It's just something that I've noticed trending here on X is all the blame and all the attacks going directly to some of his underlings versus going to him.
Oh no, somebody gotta leave. There's 33 people in here. I feel like a Freemason. Somebody help me. Uh-oh. I broke the space. Alright, 30.
Thank you, South. I don't see any hands.
Oh no. 33 people in here and we're coming up on 33 minutes. Oh no, thankfully 2 people left. We're good.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, thank you. Hey, I'm a middle-aged dude, 45. I've been working in a career for over 20 years and something that's extremely socially demanding, personally demanding too. And let me put it this way. Working for the public good, if you don't have the balls to stand up to your boss when you know that there's evil and corruption going on, you don't deserve the post that you have. Like, if you've never done that for yourself, if you've never stood up for yourself or people that you know, when you know that there's something going off in the company, and everybody knows that if a company stays open long enough, there's some stuff that goes down. If you never had the balls to stand up for yourself or your coworkers when you knew that there was something going off, you don't deserve that position in the first place. I don't give a damn who's gotten the orders from who. Don't care.
I agree. I mean, it's not about that. Hi, History.
Hi. I actually have a really I'm sorry you guys are feeling so bad. That really stinks, especially at the holidays. I'm sorry. I have a, super quick question because I just popped in now. And I don't know if you can, well, I'm sure you can answer this. So because I'm new to all of this and I've never seen AMFEST before, I guess 2 questions. 1, were they always like that with the pyrotechnics and all the stuff like that? Number 1, I don't know. Maybe they are, and that's just the way they are. And number 2, in regards to Nicki Minaj, okay, I don't know what parent, even if they're not Christian, would ever let their children listen to the filth that comes. I mean, even my students at school, like, seriously, they don't even listen to her because they're like, she's gross, she's this. Like, what would be the literal reason why they would prance her out on stage and do that? And, you know, I've read today, like, some things online, and they're saying that a lot of the reason why is because she's looking for a pardon for her husband or a pardon for her brother or whatever. But even for them to come out, and I know Diligent made a post too, about her being an illegal immigrant. Like, I just don't get it.
You're not the only one.
Deport her ass now. Get them all out. I want all of them out. If you're in my on my channel right now, go home.
I think Diligent, didn't you go to AMFEST last year?
Yeah.
Was it the same as it was this year? Was it still all glittery and rock starry?
Yeah, I mean, it was really commercial.
To me, like, whenever I first
But
saw
Charlie Kirk hadn't just been assassinated last year, so.
right? Whenever, like, I feel like people are worshiping politicians, or they're trying to get us to worship politicians like we do celebrities, which we shouldn't have been worshiping any of them. We worship God and
I've
Jesus.
never worshipped no celebrities.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying, like, I think that they're trying to put that on the people and on, like, the youth and the next generation or whatever. Like, these politicians are like the Beatles and the rock stars, and we're supposed to just be like, oh, and, like, lose our mind, and kind of twisting it out of the perspective of they're public servants. They're there to serve us and to be our voice. Like, they're not kings and queens and royalty or any, like, we literally elect them and put them in office. But it seems like the whole thing has just flipped to where now they're supposed to be these rock stars that everybody's just supposed to freak out about. It makes me it's kind of gross to me.
Did you see Seth Dillon's piece he did on this?
I love that he was dressed as Santa Claus. He looked so cute.
Did you see it though? I'm
Yes.
talking about what he said.
Seth Dillon is so shook that he's got to perform at the crushing anti-Semitism convention coming up on January 26th with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, you guys are just like, you're just corrupting my space with all this shit all the time. All right.
No, I'm serious. They're having the convention on the 26th of January with Seth Dillon.
I was talking, not Seth Dillon. Who am I thinking about?
Oh, well, I was like,
why are you Christmas was the Santa Claus?
Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon. Oh, yes, we love Tim Dillon. Okay.
Tim Dillon. Sorry.
Our brains are
Seth
fried.
Dillon. Why is Nopsy being nice to Seth Dillon right now? It's gonna.
I want to play this clip because it's really good if I can find it.
I have like.
Are you talking about the one where he says it feels off?
What?
The one where he's talking about it feeling off?
Yeah.
I can grab it for you. I got you. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Kind of abomination that the right wing of this country has turned into like a bad reality show. And it's all of the fault of everyone, by the way. It's the fault of everyone speaking and everyone attending. And there's nobody that gets everything about this is weird and uncomfortable for everyone. And obviously, I'm not saying she killed her husband or knew about it or whatever. I'm saying the guy got shot 3 months ago, and she walks out to a pyrotechnic display, and then she goes, "We're going to elect J.D. Vance." It's weird that that's where her head is at. It's difficult for many people to relate to. It's not relatable for people that talked about how Hollywood isn't relatable and Hollywood is out of touch. This looks a lot like Hollywood to most people. And to go out through a stream of fireworks and sparklers and stand there in a glittering pantsuit and talk about electing J.D. Vance 3 months after your husband was killed.
My dog's right here, sorry.
Many people feel that there is something off about that, and we're starting to see that political people are the exact same thing as the Hollywood elites that they all love to dunk on. And we all look at this. This is Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the Kamala rally. This is deeply unsettling to a lot of people. It feels like you're being played. You feel it. It seems off. You feel like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money.
Can I just piggyback for a second? The reason why I agree, and I won't do any of the stuff you don't.
Are you calling Tim Dillon an angry little man-child 3 in the morning?
Like diligent, is because when I saw Nicki Minaj,
or are you saying that about me?
I will not. I'm keeping it on TPUSA, AMFEST. When I saw Nicki Minaj come out, I was like, they have to know that this isn't pandering to like their demographic. They're doing this on purpose. Why are they alienating the majority of their fan base on behalf of like a very small minority that they hope to cultivate? It seemed very deliberate that they were alienating their fan base, which is typically 21 to 35-year-old white males, I would guess. Did you see that one video where like the black Zionist guy was like screaming when Nicki Minaj came out, and the white dude next to him was like, I don't know what to do, because it was like a gay dude was like, oh my god, it's Nicki, and the white dude was like, what is happening?
Sarah,
Yes. Which Sarah? This Sarah, that Sarah?
You came off mic. You go.
Okay. So, I do not want to put myself out there because I didn't officially quit. And I was supposed to be, like, I was supposed to be at AMFEST. Like, I have been at AMFEST. And working as administrative assistant, but I changed my mind at the last minute when the leadership conference that we've been piggybacking. In the past, it was a completely different time, but we've been piggybacking it with AMFEST and having it like right before. So the days before AMFEST kicks off, we would do the Blexit Leadership Conference. And I don't know if everybody's familiar with Blexit, but Blexit was something Candace started. Well, actually, Kier Wilson started it. Just randomly, just decided to form a chapter. And
If you don't mind, double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you.
then told her about it afterwards. But officially, Candace and Brandon Tatum started it. And they were like brother and sister. And I saw them behind the scenes because I came on board after, like, I had been following Candace all along. And when I heard about Blexit, and they hadn't really formed yet, I reached out and said, hey, I work as a marketing professional. I'm willing to offer up my graphic design services. You know, if you want me to help you generate like on the spot, you know, messaging or whatever, I'm happy to help. If you want me to mentor anybody, I'm happy to help. I've been working with Adobe since before Adobe was even just a font house. Like, I can teach people. Like, I've done that as, you know, in my career. And so that's what, crazily, they had been praying because they had a 19-year-old creative director who needed to be mentored. And so I did. I took that role. And so I was kind of behind the scenes for a long time, but I was always involved in all the events because I would kind of act as a liaison with the professional teams that they would hire to run the actual shows. We'd have an audio-visual team and then the film crew that would record the show. And I would act as like a go-between them, those two hired groups, and the volunteer staff and the paid stipend organizational staff, if that makes sense.
We got us an insider, y'all. I wonder if she's gonna spill some tea over here.
I have not signed an NDA, so I can say all this stuff. There is stuff that I won't say, and I have changed my career, like my industry, because I felt like that was too much power. And I actually wanted to offer up my design skills to some of the truth seekers to be like, hey, if there's something I agree with and it's a truth message, I'm willing to create that graph for you, but that's a side note. So back on topic. So when I think the opportunity for Daily Wire came involved, because I don't have a TV, I don't always keep up because the awareness level, I only have so much capacity in my brain, and I am an introvert, and I have lived life a different way than most people. And so I just am aware of only so much. So I believe at the time, Candace was taking on a job with Daily Wire, and so Charlie was doing TPUSA, and so they kind of separated officially, but not personally. And so they were very supportive of each other. That's what I witnessed anyway. And I think that when she left Daily Wire, because the whole time she was with Daily Wire, we were running Blexit basically on our own with our own funding. And then when she left Daily Wire, we like turned it over to TPUSA, but then Candace herself stepped away a little bit from actually like doing the events. It was like a weird thing. I can't even explain. I don't even want to get into the weeds of what I know about it. But it was kind of like this weird, like on the books, it was one thing, but like personally, like verbally, it was another. All the time, I've never known Candace and Charlie to be anything but sibling toward each other. And I've never known Brandon and Candace to be anything but like sibling toward each other. And they're all very much what you see is what you get. Now, I will say I've had conversations about faith. You know, you're at these leadership conferences, and as an administrative assistant, because that's the role I usually take on events, or I would take like a PA, like a production assistant role, or a body man, like a camera role. So in some of those roles, you have time to like talk to the different talents or, the on-camera talent. And I have, in the past, there's a few people associated with Brexit who don't actually, not Candace, who don't actually believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. I think that's a big problem. Back to Brexit and TPUSA. So then I made my decision not to attend.
Yes, Skinny Vady, what is it? Skinny Vady Vecchi? Skinny Vady Vecchi. Yes, this is the AA meeting. You are in the right place. Welcome home.
And this year's because they switched from Brexit to Rise like just in the middle of November. Like out of nowhere. No warning, nothing. Like we were all like, what? So instead of TPUSA Brexit under the TPUSA Faith umbrella, it was all of a sudden TPUSA Rise. And it just harkened back to that one conversation. I think Ian Carroll highlighted this former, I don't remember her name, but she's like a former tech wife who divorced the guy after her child was COVID vaccine injured. And she's like speaking out against how tech billionaire wives' money is being used for agendas. So when all of my friends that I've been, volunteering with for years at these events, because each event that happens, we, put out a call for stipends. I actually do work between events for the leadership team that's actually full-time hired since they've been TPUSA. And I do my official title was communications and onboarding. So, I don't want to get too much into it, but I can just say that I know a lot of people because in the absence of leadership, I would often run some of the volunteer, because we'd always have a volunteer rally night before the actual event. And so I know a lot of volunteer, over the years, you just meet people from event to event that tend to go. And, a lot of them are on my social media, on my LinkedIn or my Facebook or on my Instagram or on all three, and seeing the different sides of the people that are celebrating, because they're still supporting it or still in it. And I don't know that my Pierre and, I don't want to say her name because she's not as public. I don't want them, I've not spoken to them about my decision to step away, but I've been watching them post. And I've been watching other people that have been involved being like, what is going on? This is not the culture. And this has been happening it's been happening since we got taken over by TPUSA and Candace kind of stepped away. Charlie's culture and Candace's early culture was very much very Christian, very conservative, very much principles of the Constitution, very much about proper moral behavior during events and just in general, and just promoting that as a culture shift, bringing people toward Christianity just for, the principles of how the government was meant to run. And we just saw no drinking was a big thing. We didn't even go to places that served alcohol half the time. And I just saw a shift in the last couple of years at the TPUSA Brexit, and now because it rolls into AMFEST, and so we'd have our own room sometimes at AMFEST kind of thing, and then we'd be a part of the bigger stuff too. So, and we usually I'd have to take care around for media row and stuff, but we just noticed a shift in the culture. I remember our first TPUSA Brexit event, the entire regular.
How long ago was that?
I'd have to go back. I have everything. You get all your confirmation emails, so I could go back and pinpoint it.
How long? Years ago?
At least 3 years we've been with TPUSA. I think it's been 3 years. I think this would be our third year. But Blake's has been going for 6 or 7 now. So the first time we had an event, I think it was actually the one I hosted here in Michigan. Oh my gosh, it was so horrible. No, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was earlier than that. I don't know. I'm really bad with time. It happens when you're knocking on 50. Sorry. So, I I just, wow. I just the different sides to people, and like we all noticed like there was a plasticness, like I don't know how to describe it, like the whole
Faking gay.
yes, like not really Christian, because there's a bunch of people even in Blegza, even in the original movement, that weren't really true Christians, like would thump the Bible, but when you actually got to talking to them, they wouldn't confess Jesus Christ as the Son of God, like God made flesh. And I would debate them about it. And, that's like one step, like at least they're still reading the Bible. But the step above that is like, got my hair perfect. I'm wearing a glossy outfit and everything is in, place. And I, filter all my conversations and, I'm smiling all the time and getting all my selfies, and that person. Oh my gosh, it's just so overwhelming. And Blaze, it was like we were a family, and we
Thank you, Bull Burke. Hit the like button for me. I appreciate it. I'll appreciate it even more.
would have cookouts, and we would like party down like in a fun way, like dancing, and it was just changed so much. And the culture of drinking on the sly, and the last year's AMFEST had Catholic Mass, which I doubt they had this year. I didn't go, so I have no idea, and I haven't asked any because
No, they had a Shabbat dinner instead.
Yeah, so everybody's really upset. Like, people are in tears. People that were
I'm not allowed to make jokes. I know. I was wanting to say it, and then I was like, I better not. I'll get in trouble.
TPUSA, Sarah. Okay, they literally had a Shabbat dinner instead. I'm not joking.
That's anti-Semitic.
It's not a joke. It's real.
TPUSA.
So this is what everybody's seeing. So we're seeing part of Charlie's, we call it a run of show. The industry calls it a run of show.
Can we all appreciate the TPUSA? That's funny.
We're seeing Charlie's run of show smashed with changes of another agenda, and we see them trying to steer the ship. Oh, so Charlie was slowly, moving toward truth, and constantly reading, constantly researching, and he was like a sibling to Candace, and he was attending Catholic Mass. And I'm sorry, there is early church evidence that points to the teachings of the Catholic Church. I think the Catholic Church, the clergy, the priesthood, the Jesuits, I think there's satanicness in it. Like, I'm all on board. I left it for a long time, but the teachings themselves are true, and they keep us grounded more than any other Protestantism. That's what's led us into Judeo-Christian bullshit. So, excuse my language. Sorry, Diligent. I don't know if I should keep going.
No, it's good to get an insider's perspective. So,
I was thinking the same thing. Wow. I'm just gonna let her. I'm gonna let that rest. I'm gonna let it marinate. I need to simmer on that for a minute.
when did you leave the organization?
Well, like I said, I've not had, like, the last conversation I had with my person I report to, which I'm not going to say her name.
Don't want you to dox anybody.
Yeah, I just said, what's going on, and should I still come? And she said, because normally she guilts me into coming. Normally she's like, you have to come. But she, I also know, and I don't really want to say too much, because I don't want it to, I don't want her to, she's still with them. She's still with them. So, there's a lot of conversations that happen, but they only happen in person at, like, dinner, way away from everyone else.
Are you still with TPUSA?
I do.
Well, I changed it on my LinkedIn, but I have not given up anything in writing.
She hasn't formally left.
Correct.
Sarah, what's the sentiment? You said that you're tied into all of these people on social networks, etc. What would you say the average sentiment of the staff members and volunteers are towards TPUSA, this shift that's occurring? Are people noticing it? Are people going along with it? Are they supportive? Are they quiet? Like, what are you seeing?
Everybody's gonna give you a hard time. That's all.
So I posted something on
I wouldn't have it any other
my Twitter or X that's very relevant to that question. Your question you're asking me. It's putting me in the position to say things that is going to expose some people.
Don't say any names. Just speak in general terms.
General terms. They're in all these movements. In every movement, there are people who, I guess you guys call them grifters, but I'm not sure if we all define grifters the same way. There are people that believe in the movement, but want to make a name for themselves. And there's people that don't really believe in the movement and just want to make a name for themselves. And then there's people that just want to be.
Yes, if y'all heard that, I showed up 5 minutes late for work. You can lambast me later.
Be part of something. And they believe in the movement. And then there's just people that are crazy. That's my categorization for the 4 types. So what I'm seeing is that the people who believe in the movement, but also want to be well known, are also always working to be as close to the center as possible, whether they have the skill set or not. And those people are the most aggressive. And so those people usually end up getting like the stipends and the rewards. And there's something, and it's even in the Bible, I think it's Ephesians, about money corrupting people. And even people with good hearts who really do believe in the Lord, like something like with the shinies just captures people and like gets them to morally justify and compromise in small ways. In just small ways, they're like, okay. And so I'm seeing a group of people that believe in the cause, who want to be famous, who are going along with it. But I know in their heart of hearts, no, something's not quite right.
It's new to me. PC Prankster. How do you say your name? Spell your name phonetically for me, PC.
And if I were in a room with them privately, I'm sure they would tell me it. And then I see a lot of people who aren't ever trying to get anything out of it and have refused to get anything out of it, but are there every time, every event, and active in between the grassroots work. And those people are going, what the F? And like a lot of the people that are voices, like Madeline Bram, who I can dox because she's a very public figure, her son was killed in New York City. He was, I think, military. I don't know the exact details because I just know her personally. But she's been on stage for Trump rallies. You can look her up. Her son's killers got away with it, like the justice system in New York.
Yeah, she spoke at the Long Island and the Madison Square Garden Trump rallies last year.
She's very upset. Like, there are a lot of people that are very upset. They're very upset, not only because the culture was slipping. Like, it used to be that, like, no one drank. And, like, boys would, and guys and, gentlemen would open up doors for us, and we're very careful of our safety and just the respect everybody had, and no, like, weird.
Oh, so I just call you PC. I can't know what the latter part is. I get it. You don't like me. That's cool.
Flirting or making people feel uncomfortable, and just, it was a different culture. And then it just became all about like looks and positioning and jockeying, and it just got weird. The more people that got hired and got between Charlie and Candace and the people that were there from the beginning. And I was like a weird person because I kind of floated between everybody. I was like this invisible, but I don't know. Gosh, I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass. Excuse my language.
The most shocking thing I think you said is that Brexit's still a thing. I can't believe that.
Is it still a thing?
I thought that's what
we don't know.
She said that it wasn't still a thing. That the TPUSA got rid of Brexit and replaced it. That's what she said.
Yeah, like right before I finalized my plans, like I took my time off, everything, had it all ready to go. Like I've been doing for 3 years now, 2 years now. I can't remember how many years now. I have to go back and count my badges. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was like out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden it was just being announced. TPUSA Rise.
Brexit took about $250,000 from USAID. So I think it was just kind of a scam anyway.
We all saw the direction it was going. We all saw it. And
I mean, everything Candace does is kind of scammy.
No,
like,
it's not. No, I honestly don't believe that's true. I really don't.
It's like cast aspersions on people without bringing receipts.
I really don't.
I mean, we could talk about the doxing site. Like, we could do that. We could go through everything.
No,
or the suing. We could go
maintain on TPUSA and AMFEST.
I honestly think that.
I thought we were talking about Brexit.
You brought up Brexit.
No, she did.
She just said that it got swapped out.
Into what? TP Rise?
Yeah,
what is TP Rise?
TP USA Rise.
Yeah, what's that?
I did not attend. I should have been working the leadership conference, but I did not attend it. It's basically just...
They have like 75 shell companies.
They're co-opting Brexit. And a lot of...
Oh, yes. Oh, my God, you're right. Okay, so TPUSA Rise. The theme is kind of We Rise, and it's for Black people. Yeah, it's geared towards Black people. So I guess, is this the Nicki Minaj side of TPUSA?
Nicki was never involved, and she is antithetical to what it was all about. So that's just like really, like we're all just...
She's not even a U.S. citizen.
We're all whiplashed, and you have to keep in mind, like, my gut reaction.
It's called TPUSA or TPGUSA. How can there be a non-U.S. citizen on stage at TPUSA? Sorry, TPGUSA.
And I, at the time, was working at a software studio. My gut reaction to my boss, who was like in the know, he just told me, and my gut reaction was they killed him. And he was like, I think the next day he said, and
that it was the cringy. It was like all the Kamala shit. When they had all the celebrities coming out for Kamala, that's what it reminded me of, though. It's like, it was the most cringiest shit I ever seen in my life. I don't watch TPUSA events, but I did see the clips, and that's horrible.
I knew who I was saying when I said they. And the next day he said, oh, they caught the guy. It was some trans guy. And it was the left. And I said, no, it wasn't. It was, and I don't want to say it, but we all know what I want to say.
I'll say it. No, I won't. Not on Diligent Space.
And I said it. That was what came out of my mouth. And I was like, mark my words. Sorry. It's really, I'm good to mute.
May I ask a question? I know we're kind of, going away from whatever she was saying, but I tried to ask a question several hours ago in regards to...
What the fuck is this guy? He's a light bearer? Okay, dude. Okay, Moses, light bearer.
Talking about Professor Jiang. So
this isn't the space for that. Sorry.
Okay, I can disregard. Sorry.
What? Different space. Let's go to some of these hands. Let's go to Nicholas. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry. If you hear a baby screaming, I beg your pardon. I just wanted to go back to, I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the lady who was speaking, but who is involved with TPUSA and AMFEST. I thought that was all very interesting. I just wanted to add one more category of people when she was talking about, these different, you have the people who are there who really believe in it and that sort of thing. And it seems like there's also a lot of people who are just really scared to say anything. I mean, she kind of touched on this, so I'm not really adding a whole new category. But these people who are, maybe seeing things, maybe know what's happening, but just, for the sake of their own jobs, they want to just stick to themselves or not say anything. And I feel like there's maybe a lot more of that happening than people maybe want to admit. But I don't know if anyone else saw, Michael Knowles did one of his, I think it's like the bar fight segment at AMFEST, and they had a debate. I know we're not wanting to talk about the Israel thing, so I'm not gonna really go there. But
I'll talk about it as long as it's relevant to the conversation.
Okay.
But I'm not we trail off into Gaza, Netanyahu, and all of this that has nothing to do with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. No, but he was doing one of these bar fight segments where he normally does it in a bar, and you'll have two other interlocutors. And this time he had two, a guy named Steve and a guy named Kai, and they were debating about Israel and whether or not America should support Israel. But I found it really
What's up, Johnny boy? Do we meet again? Did you like and subscribe?
interesting. This was the first time I'd seen one of these segments where Michael Knowles just completely stayed out of the debate. So he just like completely.
This was at TPUSA?
Yes, yeah.
They did this at AMFEST?
Yeah, they did it at AMFEST, and it was really interesting because they have like the crowd volume monitor where they decide who won the debate based on how loud people cheer. And the kid Kai, who was arguing that America should not be supporting Israel, they said that he won the debate, which was really surprising. So I just thought that was an interesting thing. I don't know if anybody else had seen it, but it was curious to me because it was the first time Michael Knowles had done one of these bar fight things and not engaged in the argument at all.
Nicholas, it's interesting you mentioned that. I was literally right before I joined the space, like 5-10 minutes ago, I was reading a post. I saw clips from that debate. I didn't see the full debate, but I saw clips from that debate. I think it was with Steve Dace, right? Was on the other side, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, that's right.
Right. So I saw clips from that debate, and Kai said something, and I'll give him the good faith to say that it wasn't intentionally bullshit, but it was bullshit. The story or the anecdote or whatever, one of the points that he brought up was that it's that there was a ruling recently that it's now illegal a landmark ruling that it's now illegal to burn the Israeli flag in America. That is
let me just sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I wasn't intending to get into the merits of the debate itself, but more commenting on the fact that the debate happened.
Fair point. No, I was going to say two things. I was going to say, number one, that the point that he brought up maybe wasn't intentional, because I've seen now Kai go back and forth with a Twitter friend of mine, Max Nordo, about this point. It's factually inaccurate, right? So what actually, and then I'll get to my main point about it. It's factually inaccurate. What actually happened in that case, that Kai either misconstrued or intentionally deceived the audience, was that somebody, I don't know if it was at a protest or rally, whatever, was assaulted. Pro-Israel person was assaulted with an Israeli flag and choked with it, right? And the ruling in question was not that burning a an Israeli flag or any flag is illegal in America. It is not. It shouldn't be, and it isn't, right? The ruling was, number one, the guy got assaulted, and as a sort of aggravating factor, the judge decided that the fact that he was assaulted with an Israeli flag proved that there was a bigotry or hatred or was a guy involved in the crime. That's it. That's all the ruling said, right? That was.
Yeah, but a black person can beat up a white person saying "fuck that white bitch," da da da, and it's not a hate crime.
It's the first time it said basically in this guy's case, the Israeli flag with the Star of David on it equates to Jewish identity for many people. And therefore, if you're assaulting somebody with that at a pro-Israel protest, then that's indicative that you have that there's sort of a hate motivation in addition to the assault, right?
Right. Yeah. That may be. I have no opinion on that. I know what you're talking about when you said that I've seen.
I have an opinion on that
too, where he has been kind of like going back and commenting on that. I'm not super interested in it, so I didn't read it.
No, it's important, but it's important for the audience because it would be. I'm a very pro-Israel guy, and
right.
But it would be.
We know, AB. We know, dog.
Despite the fact that I'm a very pro-Israel guy and happy to be so, it would be outrageous if it was all of a sudden like, oh yeah, it's illegal to burn the Israeli flag, but not the American flag. That's just factually not true. So for both pro-Israel people and anti-Israel people and people who don't care or anywhere in between, they should know that that's factually not true.
Sure.
The other thing quick I wanted to say was I don't know who won that debate in terms of the audience, but they did you might have seen, they did an exit poll, TPUSA did, at the end of their conference on a variety of questions, what's the biggest threats? And one of the questions in the exit poll was a straw poll, I think they call it, of their attendees was, is Israel an ally of the U.S., of the United States? And 87%, 87, said yes.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, at a TPUSA shill, Israel shill event. I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
I should say I'm Canadian. I'm not super involved in this personally. I take interest in it. But one thing I do know is that I think Michael Knowles has a much younger audience age, generally speaking, than was at AMFEST this year. I think the average age there was something like 51. I don't know, and that's not normal. But I think in that particular segment where they did the vote from the audience, that there was probably a much younger audience there, and so that would probably affect why they were less in favor of Israel.
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, it was the poll was, I guess, of all attendees, or all the attendees who wanted to vote anyway. There was like 40,000 people voted, and 87%, give or take 40,000, and 87% said yes.
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, TPUSA seems like a pretty broadly pro-Israel organization.
Yeah.
He's a Jew, if you didn't know.
Luna, stop.
Go ahead, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, Johnny boy. Isn't it so shocking that at a Israel shill event, 87% of people, you know what's shocking? Even at a freaking Israel shill event, 13% of the people are like, nah, that's too much for me, dog. That's faking gay.
Jew.
Lune thought it was important to tell everyone that I'm a Jew, which I am, and extremely proud of. Yeah.
I'm a Catholic. If we're just outing ourselves.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
What's up, y'all? I appreciate what Sarah was saying earlier. I'm someone who recognized what she recognized back when I was 13 happening within my own community and my own family. And we went from like the big family dinners where everyone got together and it was like just a huge big party and like the community was tight. And, even the church, as much as boring as church was, I met some cool people through the church, whatnot, we had some fun, whatever. And then the years progressed, it very quickly became just a bunch of sociopathic alcoholics. All of a sudden, and not just that, but on all kinds of other substances, whether it be prescription or street medication, And I myself, when I was 13, I went through the confirmation ceremony at this like Zionist Lutheran church. And what I realized at that moment was that like my faith has been anything but confirmed. As a matter of fact, like that's the moment when I stepped away from the church completely and just kind of explored science as a philosophy. And it has just totally improved my life in so many ways. And I'm so grateful that I started so young.
Fuck this guy.
Because I know what a clusterfuck it is to unpack all this, what's happening to your culture right now. You know what I mean? Like, it hurts. It feels like your family's being torn apart. Your friends you're disconnected from your friends, your family, all this stuff. And it's all by design,
I wonder if following physical science as your god has grown your family closer and fix all the shit. This dude's a fucking liar, dude.
Like all good things in the world, like food, water, they get hijacked by old people with a vampire complex, and they ruin it to extract wealth out of young people who should be starting families, right? And should be, preparing to be good parents for those children. Instead, they're having their energy extracted by a bunch of old people who can barely justify their existence or the digital space-time they waste, right?
And he hates old people. He does not. Oh my gosh, this fucking guy. I'm gonna block him.
I would just encourage you to, continue the leap.
He sounds like one of the CQ guys. Like the shield. I got some CQ guys from HT that come in here and try to fuck with my chat all the time.
Board and unite along lines of science.
All they do is sow division. That's like literally all they do, and they cloak it in this, this language.
I don't drink myself, and there's no, I subscribe to no religion or anything. It's just a scientific perspective that's led me to not drinking, because drinking is like huffing paint. Let's be real. Let's be honest. When it comes to substances, the use of alcohol for fun is very akin and close to huffing paint. You're killing brain cells.
I feel like I'm huffing paint right now.
Yeah.
Did you say
alcohol literally kills your brain cells when you drink it?
One time, I'm not going to do this.
Like having a philosophy based in science as opposed to ancient.
Yeah, I couldn't really
What I was really happy about the AMFEST thing was how bad it was. I think how bad it was is a good thing, right? It's kind of like a wake up moment for everyone. Everyone's kind of waking up at once.
That's accurate.
And
Americans don't love worshiping Jewish dick. This American certainly does not. There are a bunch of people that are, making a lot of money. Also, I was a Zionist like probably a year ago, so I can't really speak any differently. Like it wasn't me at one point. I did used to worship the Jews. I was indoctrinated from birth. That's why. I was indoctrinated from birth. But I woke up and now I'm doing the other thing. Trying to wake people up to it. We all know the chosen people have bought the way to Charlie Turning Point made solely about foreign country. Yeah. We all know that.
Yeah, so let's take advantage of this moment. Well, one of the things I'm doing is I'm going to host a proxy fest, right? And I'm going to host what's called a proxy debate. And the idea of this is that Ben Shapiro does not have the testicular fortitude to show up to an open debate table. So what I'm going to do is either I or someone who's better than me is going to pretend to be Ben Shapiro, and we're going to debate proxy Ben Shapiro.
This dude's acting like I bet this is HT. This dude's acting like he's some fucking high-level intellect. This guy?
Shapiro, and maybe we'll even have like a proxy Candace Owens. I'll find one of my cool black girlfriends to be Candace Owens.
The chosen people is said in jest, I do believe, sir or ma'am.
And we'll have a proxy Candace Owens versus Ben Shapiro debate as a way to encourage them to have a real one, So that's just one idea of how to turn a shitty situation into something more entertaining, maybe. And productive.
I don't have an issue with different strokes for different folks in terms of who they like and who they dislike, and based on ideology or style or aesthetics, it's all good, right? No problem. But the idea that Ben, just on that factual point, doesn't have the testicular fortitude, as you put it, to show up to debates is ridiculous, right? He was doing the Charlie Kirk thing of, ask me anything or college debate circuit way before Charlie Kirk was doing it, like way before, because he's about, 12 years older, I think, or 10 years older than Charlie Kirk, right? And he's done, and not just college kids, he's done debates with Anna Kasparian and a whole host of, lefties and progressives, from cable TV stuff to, in-person debates and what have you. So you can still hate him. I'm not trying to convince you whether you should like him or dislike him.
Yeah, there's no doubt there. But what happened? My question would be, what happened is that he got his butt kicked in so many debates that he retreated to an echo chamber.
No, I think he just got sick of it, man. He's become a businessman. Again, it doesn't mean you have to like him, right? But he just became he's a co-owner of the Daily Wire. He's making millions off not only his own work, but the work of Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles and, formerly Candace Owens.
Yeah, careful how you talk about the Protestants here. I grew up that way, dog. I am ortho or Catholic. I say a Catho or ortho curious at this point. But yes, I mean, I don't know. Who's got it right? Chat?
Once, unfortunately.
Can you rephrase that?
Wait, what did I say? What did I say that I need to rephrase?
I'm sorry.
No, I think you said it perfectly. Let him finish.
Yeah, he became he's become he's in a weird position in the sense that he's like he's already an OG, so to speak, in the normie conservative movement, but he's only in his early 40s. But he did all this Charlie Kirk stuff before it was cool. He did it before Milo Yiannopoulos. He did it before all these guys, right? And so I don't think he retreated. I don't think he got afraid of, like, just go back and watch. He's got hundreds of these debates, again, through the college stuff and also in person, and including in fairly recently, maybe not in the last 6 months or whatever, but maybe 2-3 years ago. He debated Anna Kasparian, I remember, at some I think some radio station sponsored a debate between him and Anna Kasparian in person in front of a live audience about, like, I think it was in Seattle. Anyway, but the point is, I think he's just got satisfied as a businessman, and he got bored, you know.
Is it me, or does this dude sound like a gay Jew? The dude that's talking.
It's, you know, when you get older, you get bored of certain things you liked when you were younger, right? Whether it was drug abuse or other stuff. And I'm not saying he did drugs, but anyway, he's a businessman, and he's making millions owning the largest conservative website in the country outside of Fox. Yeah, that's my opinion.
I mean, if I made millions of dollars and became incredibly wealthy, that would just give me more time to debate my opponents in public in front of a camera. You know what I'm saying?
But did he say he's a gay Jew? He's probably like trainee vibes. He's giving me trainee vibes. You know, you can hear it in the voice. It sounds like he has a dress on.
And it would just make it easier. I could pay them to show up at
as
that
a
point.
resident Daily Wire fan, when was the last?
I don't subscribe to Daily Wire.
When is the last time that old Shapiro he spoke?
Real question, genuine question. Is there a non-gay Jew?
Spoke at a TPUSA AMFEST event. When was the last time?
Last year, literally 2024.
He spoke last year?
Yep.
I don't remember him being there. I was there.
You can grok it right now.
Man, did I avoid that? Maybe I avoided it. Oh no, I had.
Yeah. So the Candace Owens line, all like, oh, Ben would have never been invited.
I was there. First of all, I was there. I don't remember him being there.
Just grok it, man.
Can you just find me the flyer that shows that he was on it?
No, but you can grok it right now and ask if he spoke in 2024, and they'll tell you.
Okay. I'll look it up myself, but I'll take your word for it for now. But that's okay. It's okay. Okay.
If I was a billionaire, I'd open a McDonald's.
Israel gave us the first trans winner of the Eurovision Sing Contest. Well, thank goodness for that. I know that's what we were missing in our society, for sure.
Go ahead,
McDonald's.
Go ahead, Miss Lou.
Man,
Grok doesn't lie. It hallucinates like fuck, though.
McDonald's.
I'm sorry, Diligent. Did you call me?
I did.
Okay. Good evening, Noxie, everyone in the room. Very interesting space as always, Diligent, and really lively. I just want to say that regarding AMFEST and its relationship to TPUSA, I find that within the absence of Charlie, and I'm not going to, call names. I don't want to get into the drama of it, to be honest with you. But I think there is a real danger of both AMFEST and TPUSA without real leadership. AMFEST has always been the center, and now it's sort of become Conservative Inc. And you'll have to forgive me in my old age. I'm losing patience for the major conservative voices in this country because I'm seeing that it's just a bunch of scam artists who, if you bring receipts and you bring real news and you bring
Miss Lou is waking up, everybody. I'm gonna have to start listening to the Punch Bowl.
Truth, that's provable. That you are really. And you have a point of view. There's nothing wrong with that. That's editorial, op-ed. But I'm finding that so many are being likely monetized by out-of-country sources, you could say, even inside. It's indicative of the divide in our government. And I think the conservative movement right now, call it MAGA, call it America First, I think it's
TPUSA. We've already established this. If you can come up with a better name than TPUSA, then put it in the chat and I'll start calling it that.
It's in trouble. And I think that what we have to do is look at the principles that founded this country and get back to basics. I think there is so much tangential, divisive arguments going on that are really
I wonder if she knows that getting back to the basics of this country means getting it back to being a white country, like the First Naturalization Act of 1790 says that the only people that can be Americans are free white people of good moral character. I wonder if she knows that. She's espousing racist views.
In nature. And what we have to realize is there is a real, definite effort.
Do we care about being called racist, chat?
To destroy this country. You can call it communism. You can call it the Red-Green Alliance. You can call it Qatar. You can call it China, the CCP, which is my particular enemy of preference. Certainly the Russia-China-Iranian contact is the triad, is very active. And these forces are working very hard at multiple levels to create race wars, ideology wars, and worst of all, and the most strong of all the negative divisive, is a class war. Because it is the corporatists and the oligarchs that control the money of our government, that controlled Epstein, that he got involved with, and all his evil, and why they are protecting that evil, okay, and have been from the very beginning, which is why so much is still buried and so much got destroyed.
If Miss Lou this is the most boomer chick I've ever met, Miss Lou. If she can wake up, dog, if we can wake up Miss Lou, there is hope for this country.
So, people see this and they see the darkness.
I'm not agreeing with everything Miss Lou's saying, but she is getting closer, dog. She's getting closer.
Of it. And I'm not trying to be a black pill here. I'm not. What you have to do is look to within yourselves, within your spiritual side, and go, what can I do now with so much darkness and negativity and divisiveness? What can I do to spread the word of truth and God and spirituality? And I think that right there is what is being lost at TPUSA.
Somebody told me that I was gonna something bad was gonna happen if I continued to spread the light of truth. Well, what's up with that?
Whoa, not good, Diligent. No, you just keep. I
was told it's not going to end well if I continue.
Yeah, I remember I was in your space when you were told you were getting too close to the sun. Remember that? But you are working hard and doing such a great job. And I get to simp. I'm 73 years old this year. I get to give you one simp. And that is that, you work hard to keep as unbiased and toward the truth as you can. And that is journalism. And anything beyond that is editorial, which is fine.
Does YouTube know about this? I don't know, man. I'm sure you're going to let them know, though.
Be an editorialist, but come out and say, this is my opinion. Here are the facts, but this is my opinion on it. And I think what happens is so many of these people, and I see it with Ben, and
Who is that? Pocket Marmo wants to take away our freedom of speech. Pocket Marmo in the chat. Wow, lots of derogatory references to Jews and trans people on here. Does YouTube know about this?
See it with Jones. I used to be big listeners to all these guys.
I told you to quit bringing Jones up in my space. Now you see why.
No, well, yeah, of course, Diligent. I brought him up in
This is an X space. It's a free speech platform, and all views are welcome here. And we discuss everything. We do not silence free speech. We consider all views.
In a way of saying, warning. So, I'm just, it's all so money grabbing to me. I just smell all the desperation for the money and power, and the two go hand in hand. And I'll just go ahead and dismount my horse with that one. And diligent as always. And Noxie, thank you for the microphone.
Miss Maya, can I pick up where you are?
Let me finish. Just thank you for that, Miss Lou, and 100%. We need great discernment right now. Even with me or any of my speakers, definitely don't take anything said at face value. Please look into anything you hear yourself. Go ahead, Moses.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for me being able to speak to you all. One of the main concerns, or one of the main questions, I came to the Professor Jiang. He is a Canadian professor.
This is not the space for it. This is about AMFEST. I've already told you that.
All right, yes, ma'am. I will withdraw. I'm sorry.
What are you doing in my space, Sarah? What are you doing in my space?
I'm not doing anything. We talked about this on Saturday. It's Monday.
I did want to tell you this.
Space.
I did want to tell you guys I was so proud of y'all for doing the learning together. It was so cool to watch you guys learning together, and it was heartwarming and like a breath of fresh air for me because I've been a fan of his for a long time. So I just want to say thanks for that. It was cool.
Are you turning my space into like a yoga thing? What's going on here?
We learned about history and geopolitics.
Oh my God, Timmy, go forth, please.
The history of yoga. Yeah, the history of yoga. I'm kidding.
Yo, yes, I wanted to know if anyone. Well,
Sarah,
good
I
to
will
see you
learn how to
guys.
do yoga with you. I will learn.
Is the same production team from the WWE?
Will this be a video live stream?
Just ignore the naysayers, Timmy. Go ahead, just ignore them.
All right, so I'm wondering, is there any way for us to check if the same production team from the WWE is used for AMFEST? Kind of seriously, actually, because we also got the UFC fight coming up on the White House lawn pretty soon, and I'm almost finding it a good thing too, because we could see just blatantly how systematically they're trying to maneuver us with adding Nicki Minaj. I was like, this is just like fucking Beyonce doing a country album to try to get a new market segment because she burnt out hip hop. I don't know. I'm just saying it's getting more and more obvious, at least to me, to see the ways that they're just trying to manipulate us mentally. So I saw a plus from that.
Yeah, it's too much polish, They didn't want to they got co-opted by the establishment. They want to be the establishment. They don't want to change anything. They want to be the ruling class.
Well, no, they are the establishment, and there's nothing wrong inherently with being the establishment, right? If your party wins power or your movement wins power, you become the establishment. When yesterday you were anti-establishment. The only thing that matters is, are they right or wrong? Are they good or bad?
Are they carrying out the will of the people or not?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the only thing that should matter. Who gives a?
This division is from a lack of. This division is the result of an out of touch illustration, right, of the so-called establishment, right, where they are, Nicki Minaj and the fucking glitter and sequins in the wake of a martyr, so-called martyr, right? Dude, there's such an out of touch element, the murder tent, right, AB? Come on, bro.
Well, what's with the murder tent? I don't know anything about that.
They had a fucking recreation of Charlie Kirk's assassination tent with his photos at the event behind him so you could do selfies. And right next door, they had a merch shop.
Oh, that is pretty macabre, I have to say.
Come on, bro.
Okay, fine. That's fair. I've never been, not once in my life have I been to a TPUSA event. I have been to CPAC a few times. But what I wanted to say is, seriously, people think about the whole establishment label or whatever. People think too much because we become idiotized in slogans, right? If somebody who's establishment, I don't care if it's Nancy Pelosi, does something that I like, then I'll support it. If somebody who's anti-establishment does something that I dislike, I'll oppose it. Who gives a fuck whether they're establishment or non-establishment? Do they do good things that I agree with, or that you agree with in your case? Or do they do bad things that you don't agree with? I don't care if Mitt Romney does it, or Lindsey Graham does it, or Senator Fetterman does it, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, do you agree with the policy or the person or the action, or do you disagree with it? That's really all that matters.
I want to comment about AMFEST.
Go ahead.
Sorry, AB.
Okay, go ahead.
So there is professional team and donors attend the events. They've always attended the events. We, like any organization, you want to cater to your donors and make them, see that you have movement. And there's a lot of leaning on the grassroots and bringing them to these events to activate these leaders. And you'll see that the seating at TPUSA, if you've been there, is arranged strategically to give the high school students the prominent seats, and often separating them from parents that have brought them to the show. And so they will group all the high schoolers and all the younger kids in the front row seats. And then it's just like a concert with all the visuals and the sound effects. It's a marketing tactic of, you walk through this gauntlet to get to that floor. At the actual Phoenix conference center. You have to
ask you a quick question about it? Sorry, I wanted to ask you while you're on this. Are they allowed to pay attendees to actually show up? And then just if you could work that in there.
They don't need to. They don't need to.
The volunteers often get stipends to attend, as far as their travel. Depending on what level of volunteer you are, you might have your stipend, like your hotel and your flight paid for. And they might treat you to a meal or two. I was more with the crew than the actual. I just witnessed, because when you're in the back, the same people that do the rigging and all the setup, I'm friends with them too. So I'm friends I used to go back and forth to headquarters when no one else was there during AMFEST. We had our leadership conferences at the headquarters. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. It's like Twilight Zone for me. You guys have to understand, for most of us that have been involved, this is all very Twilight Zone, and it feels very gaslighty, because things have just been getting really weird. And then to see it all play out on the national stage, and to have that background knowledge and know these people and be like, wait. And then to see all the things that happened at AMFEST this year. So just going back to that guy who was saying the WWE, that's why I came back on here. So the way they have it set up, they will make you walk through this almost labyrinth to get into where you sit down for that main stage. And you have to keep in mind, there's also whole hallways full of conference rooms where other little programs are going on that aren't televised on this main, the main reel. They might capture them on other channels, and this, somebody else said, all the different umbrellas of of TPUSA. That's true. And so they'll have different rooms with different medias going on and different conferences going on at the same time as the main stage, as we call it, the main stage is going on. And so you have this emotional, triggering gauntlet that you have to go through, and all this messaging you have to go through, and they amp you up, and then you finally get into the main floor, and it's like a concert. Most people that are truth seekers know about how they can influence people. They get you in a certain state of mind, and then once you're in that state of mind, you're vulnerable. And if you're drinking lots of water, lots of fluoridated water, and you've been your public schools and you got your Prussian obedient education, you're prime for the picking, and you're just sitting there. And so the hope is that you can activate all those leaders that you've flown in, and you're doing multiple things at once now, aren't you? activating your chapter leaders, your grassroots, you're entertaining the masses and getting their support to fund it, along with getting the big donors to see the kind of reach and pull to push their agenda. So you're selling a product.
Please do me a favor and hit the like button. I appreciate everybody in here.
See a difference in donors? Like, have donors changed over the time that you were there? It's very interesting because Charlie Kirk was talking about the change or what was going on with his donors, but did you see a difference in donors?
No. I just want to be careful. I want to be very careful what I say. Last year, we had a new member of the Blakes, and it's so funny. I saw one of my friends who I have known since the beginning. She is still, like, she left, and then she came back, and she's back, I think, full-time paid again. And she is like, ooh, you know, I'm a very loyal person, like die-hard loyal. Like, unless you have morally compromised me or something, like, it has to be really bad for me to cut ties with you. And the people that have totally, like, gone with TPUSA Rise, who are so supportive of Candace personally previously, like I was saying, like the different types of, not grifters, but that type, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. It's very obvious people are chasing clout and they're going along with it. But I just want everyone to know that WWE is serving a purpose. So is that multi-factor? And I did notice, oh yeah, back to what you were asking. You wanted to know if the donors changed. And we had, my best word for him is a minder. He wasn't a member. He wasn't in any chapter. He wasn't a leader. And he didn't look like any of us. And he probably wore a yarmulke. And he was young. And he was it felt like at any moment he was going to pull out a little 3-ring or a little, like, notepad and start, like, taking notes, or that he was mentally taking notes and, like, just constantly, like, inserting himself in little huddles of conversation and just wanting to, like, follow everybody around when we were just between, like, actual official things. He wanted to be there for all the social, and I don't want to say who, but official person in charge told me that they were Jewish and that they were from, like had to do with fundraising, and that we need to be very careful.
At TPUSA this year.
Right. I'm not surprised. But last year,
did they have Jewish booths there last year?
Not that I saw.
Not that I saw. Last year either. The way that you're describing the layout's real though, and it is almost like a casino.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
They have media row in the middle where the hallway is.
In the main hallway.
And then they have
Jack Posobiec and Steve Bannon, like, in that main hallway. They're doing
Say like again.
Want the traffic.
Please like the video.
And the people. And then upstairs where you first come in, that's like where normally you go, like, left to go downstairs. If you go right down that way, there's all those rooms where all, like, the mainstream.
Oh, you're talking about her,
media where we might do like long form filming or different media packages for different people.
Like, totally.
People that might film later, like for completely different things that have nothing. We're just like trying to maximize use of the space kind of situation. And we'll have a completely like soundproof, blacked out studio room.
Thank you for pointing that out to me. I didn't notice the insane amount she was saying like, but now that's all I hear. Thank you, you freaking fog hat 1980 type of a person.
Or we're filming different things. Yes. So I was an administrative assistant, so I would be running around with the talent and keeping them on their schedule and making sure they were getting where they needed to be and be where they, and make sure everything was, the volunteers were, my typical thing of coordinating. But on a low scale, because TPUSA had a lot of professionals involved and they were very controlling, and even over our space, like that little high school, they had a little high school social, like they were like, I don't know what they were officially calling it, but the people that were doing like the rigging and setting all the flooring up were freaking out because the floor was a mirror. And it was a bunch of high schoolers that were being like, it was like supposed to be like a dating social for them to like a mingle. I think that's what they were calling it, but like a nighttime like mingle. And that's one of the things that
they be doing some nighttime mingling over there, all right?
No, this was at the conference center. They set up a whole big room, like a disco, like it was like not a disco. What do you call it? A club, a nightclub. It looked like a nightclub.
I went over there.
The whole floor was a mirror, and you had all these little high schoolers, underage, standing on a mirror. And we're all like, this is not Charlie. This is what's going on. Like, you used to get in trouble. If anyone caught you even acting immorally, using curse word, like, you got kicked out. Like, if you were not, like, somebody representative, like, if you were wearing TPUSA or Bleggs' stuff and you were not handling yourself with character and integrity, you were gone. You were gone. No second chance. You were gone. And then all of a sudden it was like, I watched a girl in the main hotel wearing like executive red TPUSA pass badges drop an alcoholic drink, smash it, and walk away. I was like, what the hell is going on? So last year was
I just noticed all of the I'm trying to think of the one all of the horish activities that occurred late at night.
Yeah, I'll bet Grinder was hot and heavy at TPUSA. That is correct. I'd put money on it, Denizon.
It's out of the hotel lobbies. Like, because I stayed in the hotel lobby, like the main one where everybody was staying at, and so yeah, they pair off or they go off in little groups and go up to the hotel rooms together. It's
right, but Diligent, how do you know they're not all in loving, consensual relationships?
Well, because they would say that their wives were at home.
Okay, yeah, that's a good reason.
I mean,
So you can't blame that stuff on an organization because that just goes back to Cain and Abel. Like that, there's certain things that are just part of our DNA. You can't get away from. People are a mix of good and bad, and we can't like just.
It was like everybody there. I feel
no,
like
those are it's not everybody. It's the people hanging out.
I feel like I almost got honeypotted there, right? Like there was this girl who was hitting on me. Didn't make any sense. Like I couldn't figure out. I'm like, why is this girl coming over, talking to me, hitting on me? She was very attractive.
Too hot for you? That's what I was going. Yeah.
There's no such thing, but still, it didn't make any sense because I wasn't going out of my way to flirt with her. That's why, you know what I mean? Like, I think I get it when I'm like interacting with a female and she's coming at me like that, but this girl kind of like just came out of nowhere, right? Like
do you have a recognizable image, a brand?
She is a Turning Point ambassador.
But are you like did you have like a media badge? Were you recognizable?
Yeah. I'm all.
That's why you were targeted, and it has.
So hold on. Let me finish. So, what's interesting though is that I did exchange information with her, not my real name, but I did exchange information with her, and we started to message on X, and then right after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I thought maybe she would block me because there was a lot of falling out when I was like, I'm buying this shit, and she completely deactivated her profile. So I don't know if she was all up in it. I don't know if she's like, fuck this, I'm out, or well, I should reach out to her and see if she quit or what. I'm gonna reach out to her because I want to know.
Coffee filter people, you can do better than that, dissing on. I expect better comedy out of you. Come on, bro, do better.
Yeah, but it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense because it was so random that she reached out to me. Like, so random.
Like, I can't say like there isn't anything like tomfoolery going on, because there's a lot of hired plastic, and even former executives that I went out to dinner with, like, were saying things about the finances and about the spending, and it just got so big so fast, and there was just so much. And I think that things got away from Charlie, and what was happening in that lobby with you, Diligent, that happens it didn't used to happen like that, because we used to have curfews and we used to be more mindful about making sure the youngins were in their rooms and, behaving appropriately.
Well, the chick was like in her 30s, just want to clarify. Like, there wasn't no youngins.
Okay. Well, that's not even like good, but I don't know if you're in that one hotel the main one where like it's a huge restaurant, kind of mingled with the lobby a little bit. That whole thing becomes packed, and it just turns into it just turns into like a big, like, I don't even know, like, hookup.
That's exactly the vibe that
Is that the whole thing?
That's exactly the vibe. No, that thing was some student thing before my time. Students, some kind of student group. Students for
it kind of goes around along with the whole model, right? And this has been the model for, I don't know, I won't say for the beginning, but for a long time, which is the influencer celebrity model, right? And that was a strategy that Charlie himself chose. In some ways very intelligently, in other ways has downsides, right? To grow the influence of the organization. So when you have all these celebrities and influencers coming, and then obviously that will attract attendees, but by extension, you want to have like a big glitzy show that impresses the celebrities that come, right?
Full of females.
Yeah, 100%.
Females.
100%.
That's not his model. That's not his model. His model is not, he's a big influencer. His model was, I'm going to debate you and answer your questions better than you do, and let other people listen in so that they can take my talking points and debate too. And I'm going to train a bunch of me's to go out and do the same thing where they live, because that's what I was part of it. That's what we were doing. We were creating chapters. Like, all those people in the audience are little Charlies. And so they're told they're little Charlies. And a lot of influencers come out of TPUSA. Look at how many people came out of TPUSA and are still coming out of TPUSA. They're cranking out influencers. So when
coming out of TPUSA.
I don't want to say certain person's name.
I'm going to pause on that note for a second. I just want everybody to follow my co-host. Thank you. If you want to support what I'm doing, I'm sick right now, so I'm going to wrap it up here in 10 minutes. If you want to support what I'm doing, the best way is by subscribing. There's a pink button on my profile. Turn all notifications on for my account. That way you'll never miss when I post some true news or host a space. All right. Sorry. Continue, Sarah, and then we're going to go Godfrey.
What's whose last name? Sarah Izzo? What are you talking about?
My big glitch.
I don't remember what I was saying. What was not important?
You were saying that Charlie's.
I need you to rebuke Sarah.
Me? I knew you were gonna say that. That's exactly what it is. But fuck Sarah. Nobody gives a fuck about that.
No, easy. It was just a joke. It was a joke, my brother.
I get it, my brother. But I have a question for you. That the honeypot.
You are not a serious
Wait a minute,
person.
guys. I'm not in a fun mode here. I'm not in a.
Go ahead. Ask me about the honeypot.
I'm in the honeypot mode. So this honeypot thing that you were talking about, did this happen before the assassination of Charlie Kirk or after?
This was a year ago to the weekend almost. It was at the last AMFEST. I went last year.
So it was before, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting, because these people are like, cloud chasers, they're attention whores. They don't understand what you're talking about. I'm understanding it. The question here is, it's a big question, man. It's a big question. What do you think about it now?
What do you think about it now, sir?
After Erika Kirk being Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj being Erika Kirk and
will there
all
be
these
honeypots?
things.
Wait a minute. Everybody's worried. I'm trying to answer you. Everybody's worried about Erika Kirk giving off Jezebel vibes. She put Nicki Minaj up there.
I was the first one to call it out.
Up there, and that's like, there's no stronger Jezebel signal than Nicki Minaj. Like, there's not.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I'm gonna be listening to that a lot this year.
How do you get any stronger?
Do you believe that she was planted? But at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing. If she was planted,
I can't get into all that without evidence. Can't get into that.
Come on, man. Like, let's just use common sense
how I
here.
am, bro.
I know how you are. That's why I'm asking you. Don't you think that it was all a planned, coordinated event to a certain degree? Where Sarah, mute your mic, Jezebel, mute your mic. I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to Diligent. All right, just calm down. When the men are talking,
It's just too for real. Is he just doing his voice? It's too perfect, dog.
Women should.
I don't know, Kumar. Okay, is it possible? Yes, but we have no evidence that's the case.
Do you think Charlie Kirk is still alive?
Yes.
No,
yes.
bro, Charlie.
You don't think this is none?
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, I can't. I love you, man. I love you. I can't do this to my space on the way out. Thank you so much, Kumar. Thank you so much. Godfrey, go
Kumar,
ahead.
Jordan, Sarah's space. You guys can have that conversation later.
What? I'm not opening a space. You are.
Go ahead, Godfrey.
Kumar, you're opening a space.
Thanks, man. Look, I wanted to comment on what Lou was saying earlier about the divide and bringing everybody together. Look, it's really this simple. There's two camps within conservative America. There's the people that will not stand for the Epstein cover-up, the January 6th cover-up, and what I believe to be the COVID cover-up. And there's others that are telling you to be okay with it, to telling you to move on from Epstein, that it's not that big of a deal, that we just need to find a way to move forward. And that's not going to be fixed. There's going to be a new party. There's going to be an America First party. It's not going to work out. We're not going to accept these cover-ups. And until people at TPUSA realize that shit, and people in the Republican establishment realize that, they're going to keep missing the mark, and they're going to get more and more desperate, bringing celebrities to events, trying to cater to leftists, trying to cater to people with celebrities, trying to do desperate acts to get people to come to the big tent of the Republican Party while ignoring the elephant in the room, which are these cover-ups and these betrayals by Trump. And until they realize that, we're not coming together. And I know I speak for a lot of people here when I say that. When you watch this event, not one person talked about the Epstein redactions. Not one person talked about the bullshit with the pipe bomber, the fact that we still don't know if Ray Epps is a Fed, the fact that there's no real justice for election fraud and it's all talk. No, everybody there seems to be in a world of amnesia, like they don't care. They've moved on, and worst of all, they don't care that their own friend got murdered and they are pinning it on somebody else. That's the sickest thing here. And a lot of them, well, I don't want to get too conspiratorial off topic, but I think a lot of them do know that. But there are a lot of good people in that organization who are hoodwinked into believing that. And it's like, there has to be a come to Jesus moment where people realize that these issues have to be addressed or we're not coming back. And I don't think that people at TPUSA realize that.
Godfrey, can I ask you a question? Like, because sometimes I hear
Sure, yeah, because it's the AB show.
Ooh, I might have to jump into that space next. What is that? Oh, that's from December 19th. I don't know. It might be too old.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I have a good faith question for you, honestly. I know we have a different opinion. So I get when you said the different cover-ups. I get the Epstein, the allegation. I don't think there is, but I get the allegation about that about that. I don't see, then you mentioned COVID cover-up, and I think you mentioned January 6th cover-up. I don't see, and maybe I'm missing it, any raging debate within anywhere in the right of center various movements, where there's two camps, like one side's in favor of a January 6th cover-up and the other side's opposed, or on COVID origins or whatever, one side's in favor. Like, that is a pretty much, at least on those two issues, is pretty much unanimous across the board from anyone who's not a Democrat. Or saying, like, yeah, we want
old issues that people don't.
Yeah, so it was just weird that he mentioned them as like these are cover-ups. There's a rage. There's no debate within TPUSA that I know of, and definitely not within the broader right-wing movement or movements.
There is over Epstein and Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that's what I said. Epstein different. Yeah.
So I can answer a question. So people are disgusted by this pipe bomber. I've talked to plenty of people. Anybody with a brain knows it's not this guy. If it was this guy, he would have been found on day one. And Steve Baker discovered who the real pipe bomber was, and now he's curiously in the hospital. That's kind of weird, isn't it? But
wait a minute. Let me just interrupt.
I wasn't talking to you, dude. I wasn't talking to you.
It is your space, Diligent. Let me just ask you a question.
I talk to serious people only.
Go ahead.
I was talking to AB.
But I have a question.
I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I'm sorry that I'm sick and I don't have the energy to moderate like I normally would. My throat is all jacked up. I had strep throat this weekend, so I wasn't gonna host, but I did anyways. I'm glad that we did. It was a good conversation. Let me just say this. Regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk's assassination, TPUSA, Erica Kirk, the Republican Party, politics at large, myself, or anybody else, okay, there are good people who are wanting TPUSA to, or the Republicans to save the country or whatever. I would just ask them to take a really good, hard look around and let go of your loyalties for a minute, long enough to objectively observe the circumstances around you. Do the things that you see being displayed match with your principles or your values? Like Cardi B or whatever her name is, I can't, which one is it? Is it Cardi B or who is it, Noxie? It's not Cardi B. Who is it?
You're talking about how Diligent's talking? Did you not just hear him talk about how sick he was? Usually he holds these spaces for like 4 or 6 hours, and this one's only 2 hours long. Because he feels like shit. That's probably why he sounds like that. Pay attention, reality bites back. But that's the end of the space for today. I'm going to go catch up on some Baron from last night. Baron Coleman, and we'll holler at y'all later.